you got your brand new fishing rod. Brand new! But we don't know how to set it up. Hey, let me help you. So our fishing playlist is designed to help beginners, to be better fishermen and fishers of men. And in this video, we're going to learn how to set up a brand new fishing rod so that you can get on the water and start catching a fish. Now, what I have here is a very basic kid fishing rod. $8 from Walmart, the Shakespeare. It is a total of this big long, right? Well, you can use this, and we're gonna get started. Now, there are several things you're going to need in order to begin. First, you're going to need is your actual fishing rod. Next, you will need your line. Then you will need a hook, and then you'll need a float. Any float. I like these, especially for beginners. And you'll need a sinker, and a swivel, and some sort of tool. Today, I'm going to be using scissors. It will work. Let's begin. So you have your brand new rod. What you're going to want to do is take off this thing here. You can't use that to fish. Nice. No way. No. So we're going to take it off. Be very careful not to actually cut the rod. So I'm going to take off this piece here.
20 seconds later.
Get that out of here. We don't need that anymore. All right. Now we have our fishing rod. First thing you want to do is get your line to go through the holes and come out the end. And these are nice. Just gonna get the line to come loose. This here is nothing more than a little line holder. I'm not sure that they can do anything else. That might be a good video for me to learn. Cut that off and feed our line through the eye holes there. Coming all the way to the top. Now make sure you go through all of them. You're not gonna want to miss. Each hole is pretty important. They help the rod to be strong because when your fish pull on it, the line and its strength is dispersed throughout each hole that's on your rod. So if your rod has 10 holes, use all of them. And then make sure that at the very end, you checked to make sure you didn't accidentally go around and over and blah blah and yada yada. And then boom, there we have it. We have our rod, reel, our line going through each hole, coming out the top. That's the basics. Okay, now, next we need a hook. What I like to do is pull out a long amount and set my rod over to the side so that all I'm working with is just my line. And then I will take a hook, just like this one. Now this is a size 10 bait hook, bait holding hook, and I'm going to put it in, tie it on, and then, now you might be asking, what kind of tie? What kind of knot? What does he do? Which one do I use? Well, you're going to want to stick around for more videos. We're going to do a video that's going to highlight the very basic knots you can use as a fisherman. But for now, I'm using a very basic fisherman's knot, and you're going to find that in all the videos that teach you knots that you're going to want to lick your knot, make sure it's wet so that when you pull on it you don't burn the knot, making it weaker. All right, so get that on there, and then when you're done, make sure you cut off a large portion of your tag end. This is the tag end. The tag end is separate from the main line. The tag end is the piece that's just left over. I'm not going to cut off 100% of it. I'm only going to cut off about 98%. I'm going to leave a small piece. And there, you're all done. You have your rod, you have your reel, you have your line, your main line going to a single hook, and you're all done. This is a very basic setup. You can catch a fish with this. You just put a little bit of bait on there, set it in the water, and you wait for the fish to take it, and you're good to go. Now, there are more than one. You can add to this. So let's do that now. Let's go number 2 with our floating rig. A floating rig. In order to have a floating rig, you need a little bit more. All right, so we're gonna pull that out. Now, we're gonna take a float or a bobber. This is a very basic snap-on one. We're gonna put it on right here, just like that. And then you're going to add a sinker. I'm going to take this split shot sinker, add it right in the middle. And when you put on your sinker, you make sure you use a tool, any kind of tool. Do not use your teeth. If you use your teeth are gonna fall out. That's not okay. We don't want your teeth to fall out. And then, boom. This is basic rig number 2, the floater rig. You have your rod, your reel, your line going to a floater, then to a sinker, and then to your hook. So we're gonna do another video in the future about why you have a floater or why you have a sinker. The very basics that you need to understand for today, as a beginner, is that the float keeps your bait off the ground. You don't want it dragging on the ground all the time. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. And when you don't, you use a float. And then you have your sinker. Split shot, any sinker. This keeps your line down. If there's a current, the water's moving, or you're reeling it in, what's gonna happen is the line's gonna come out like this. But the sinker keeps coming straight down like that. And then it only moves where that part is. And that is number 2. But then we can go to number 3. This here is called a snap swivel. We're going to attach it to the very end in place of the hook. This is really, really cool. And let me show you. We have a rod, reel, line going to our float, our sinker, then to a swivel snap, then to a hook. Now we call this line here the main line. The main line runs all the way down to our swivel. And our snap swivel here comes apart. Snap it, boom, boom, and then we have this small piece of line. And this is what we call a leader line. And in this setup, this snap allows you to take off the leader and switch it with a new leader. Might have a whole new hook, might have a whole new bait, might have a whole new lure, a whole new whatever you want. And that is super nice if you want to change real fast rather than cutting it off, retying, blah, blah, yada, yada. This is very, very efficient with time. Because when the fish are biting, you don't want to waste your time messing around with your line. You want to get it on there, snap it on, and go, and reel. I got one! That's what you don't want to do. So, efficiency is super good when you're on the water. So, there you have it. 3 basic rigs for a beginner. Your basic line and hook, a floater hook, and a snap swivel setup with a leader line. That's all we have for this video. If you have any questions or would love to see a video about a specific kind of rig, I'm more than happy to hook you up. There's intermediate and advanced setups, but for now, this will get you started to catch them fish. For now, everybody say, bye, Pestawan!